Good day to you all. This is our quarterly learner highlight. My name is Sean Teray Thames, and I'm the Workforce Development Manager for the SBLC Learning Works program. And today we spotlight our SBLC learner, Mr. Jackie Briggs. Mr. Briggs, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fine today.
Excellent. Thank you again for joining us, Mr. Briggs. We've been looking forward to this conversation. We're really happy to have you with us. There's so many questions to go through with you, but we'll go ahead and get started now. And the biggest question, of course, is who am I, right? Or who are you? Which is tell the community who's Jackie Briggs? Who is Jackie Briggs?
Jackie Briggs is a father, a husband, motivator, and a leader.
Hmm. Awesome, awesome. They say the most important question that you'll ever ask is who am I? And so when you say that you're a leader, what makes you a leader, Mr. Briggs?
Um, I think every leader should be a great listener because you got to learn before you teach. You got two ears and one mouth for a reason. And I think that's one of my biggest attributes. Everything that I learned, I try to teach back to the people that's close to me.
Excellent. That's great to hear. What are your career paths? What were your career paths before coming to the SBLC program? And what are your career paths right now?
Before I got to the program, I had more of like a lot of warehouse experience working in Amazon. I was actually a Kiva tech fixing robots, and went from there to Frito Lay, and now I'm at I work for a photography production at the Webster store, and I'm a production assistant. So that's more of my career right now, and hopefully the BG&E gas maintenance repair be my next career, and the last one.
Yes, excellent. You were a participant in our CAS classes, which take place weekly. It's a 5-day course from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And you did such a phenomenal job in that class. And so we want to congratulate you on the great work you did in that class because it's opened a number of doors for you. So in terms of looking at your goals moving forward, now that you've completed the CAS test, which is the entrance test, and that most applicants take applying for jobs with BGE. What's the next step for you moving forward?
The next step is hopefully I'm calling for a start date. That'll be mostly the next step into it.
Yes.
The CAS test is a very hard test, like very hard, and not too many people pass it.
Hmm.
So it was my second time taking it, and it was very overwhelming, but very happy when I passed it. And I think that I just took a big step towards my goals and my future, just passing that test.
Hmm. For our audience out there, tell them in your own words, what is the CAS test, Mr. Briggs?
It's a assessment test. It deals with reading comprehension, graphic, and also mathematical problems. And it's a lot of basic math in there, but it gets harder and harder as you go. And it's also a time limit on you. And some of the problems that most people have is the measurement chart. And that's one of the problems I had turning centimeters to meters to kilograms, which it gets easier as you do it. But once you get further in the question, you gotta divert it more than one time. You gotta say, oh, we need how many paints can go in a liter, or it might just go up to gallons, and they want you to divert it 3 times. So that's more of the challenge.
Interesting, interesting. And so, in what ways would you say that the SBLC program has helped you?
Just being in the class, it helped me a lot. I mean, it taught me step by step. It actually took me back to like elementary math, basic subtraction, addition, decimals, fraction, and then they move it up, break it down to like middle school, then they get to high school. But every step that they teach you can open up your mind. Like the older you get, we forget some of that stuff, but it opened up
Yes.
your mind. And I knew a lot of that stuff, but I didn't know, my brain wasn't ready to process and do it that fast. So the steps that Miss Charles, and thanks to her, she was a great teacher, a great teacher. And the way that she taught us and the steps that she took, the baby steps that she took, it helped me a lot on the test.
That's great to hear. How important is it for you to have a good instructor in the classroom to assist you through the process of preparing for that placement test, Mr. Briggs?
Um, it's very important. I think it's very important because people these days have short attention span, and you get a instructor that's not so great, or you get bored and maybe you won't pay attention. But she kept us up on our toes, and everybody in that class like went around, and when something was wrong with one person, she would go back to that person, solve that person's problem. They come speed up, get that person, go back along, grab that person by the hand and catch them up. And that was great. That was great. It was a great learning experience. And I took everything that she put into us, I took that to that testing day, and I succeeded with it.
Excellent, excellent. If you can measure the success in that, that's awesome to hear. What's the most important thing you learned at the SBLC program that helped you along the way?
Um, I'm gonna say the most important thing is getting ready for a test, how you prepare yourself for a test, the amount of sleep you get, don't overstudy the night before. Your brain's got to be wide open. I think preparing for the test is not all the stuff that you know, is more they really testing your preparation. 'Cause
Mm,
most of the people step in that cast test, they probably know that stuff, but when they get in there, they nerves change, they get nervous, and sometimes they fail off of that. So preparing yourself for the approach is that's the number one thing for. And
yeah,
I think that she taught us how to prepare for the test. I think that was one of the most important things that you could teach somebody preparing for the test, because that's just important as studying the problems.
yes, yes. Explain test preparation. What do you mean by that?
Um, I already went over sleeping good, opening your brain, I mean your mind up more. But I've also, when you like, for example, if you're doing reading comprehension, pay attention to the ideas, the answers that are in front of you. You got a B, C, D. You got a process of elimination just to come down to your answer.
Yes,
Because it's still, you still got a time limit on you.
yes. How are you using what you learned at the SBLC to assist you along your career path, Mr. Briggs?
Um, I'm using it, I mean, I use it every day, everywhere that I go. The basic mathematics, the graphing. Even when I'm at work, I'm working with PowerPoints and Excel. And just the stuff that I learned at the workshop, I bring it over to not just my job, but my everyday life. You feel me? Like life can be a test. So just preparing for the test is like preparing for life.
Yes, that's great to hear. What are your goals? What are your goals moving forward?
My goals is moving forward is hopefully to get the BG&E position, and just have a career that can be ongoing. Like most jobs that I got, they not really like careers because they have a cap and a cutoff date. And when I'm speaking of a cap, I have jobs where I've been there for a while and I make too much and I can't further myself. So, and I think BG&E would be a great career. I did a lot of studying on it. I actually know people who work in BG&E, and they tell me about the great things in the career that they have in there. and is really motivated to even start a career like that.
Yes, yes. You've done the work and you've opened so many doors and you've made it through the process and you've done such a wonderful job of doing that. How can we continue to support you? How can the SBLC program continue to support you along your journey?
I think the support, it starts here. I mean, what I'm doing here can help the next person, and the next person can help the next person. And I think that's what y'all workshop is about. Is like y'all help everybody. Y'all don't turn nobody away. I never even thought it was a workshop that helps a CAS test. Because when I first sat down in the class there, it was when I look over to the other classroom, it was um diploma classes going on. And just looking at what y'all do more than just CAS testing and diploma class. Y'all help communities with a lot of stuff.
Excellent. We thank you. We thank you so much. Before we wrap up, Mr. Briggs, there's so many people I'm sure that you've come in contact with along your journey, along your career path. But are there any staff from the SBLC program or individuals that you've come in contact with throughout your career that you want to thank right now? Who are those individuals right now? Be it individuals from SBLC or people you've met along the way?
Definitely, definitely you, because you definitely kept in contact with me, even when I was done everything, and still until this day you do. And definitely Miss Charles. She was a great help. Like I even reached out to her after the class was over and just thanked her and told her that I passed the test. And she was very happy about it.
Yes, yes. Yeah, well, we thank you. Your dedication and commitment to your career path is something that we're very inspired by. You inspire a lot of people. And the great thing about your journey is the fact that you're not just opening doors for yourself, but you oftentimes talk about helping other people as well. And so that's a great thing. It's a great characteristic to have. And we just want to say thank you. Thank you for just bringing that great spirit, great soul that you bring to the work that you do. And we just wish you the best and continued success with everything you're doing, Mr. Briggs.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, our learner spotlight today is Mr. Jackie Briggs, who's a learner in our SBLC program. We want to thank you again for joining us, and we thank Mr. Briggs, and thank you for tuning in.
Thanks.